your buddy Marshall here, and I am at Interstate Honda for a purpose. We're going to do a comparison video today, but before I get to doing a video, I want you to see why you should always wear an eye shield of some kind. Now in my case, I had my face shield up because it's a warm day, hence the white jacket. But I had my tinted lens down, and if you can see that big yellow and black thing right there, that would have hit my eye. Yeah, that big goober right there would have went straight into my eye if I had given it a straight path. So before we can do anything else, I have to go clean that off my lens because, yeah, ew. I'm here to see if maybe, on the off chance, they'll have one of the new Honda NT1100s. I don't know. Little town like Fort Collins, what are the odds? I still have my Goldwing. Somebody should come in and buy my Goldwing, okay? So I can buy another bike. That's on consignment. Let's see, we've got an Africa Twin. We have an Africa Twin Adventure Sports. We have a Transalp. Not seeing any NT1100s here. We got 3 Goldwings. One is mine. We have a silver one. Oh, what do we have over here? We have an NX500. That's what we have, an NX500. Look at that. Oh, but what's parked next to them? What is parked next to them? Look at that. We have not one, but 2 available, brand new, shiny, right out of the crate, NT1100s. Oh, and right next to it we have John. Hi, John.
Hey guys, how are we doing? Marshall, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man. So John's one of our sales reps here. He's a very experienced sales rep. He's worked at other places like Harley Davidson. So he knows his bikes. He knows a lot of bikes.
Two-wheel enthusiasts, guys.
All right. Yes, the wind is all the same, right?
Absolutely.
It's all the same wind.
Yep.
So, wow, brand new NT1100s. Tell me something about them.
Well, they are new to the U.S. Came out this year. Same engine as your Africa Twins and Rebel 1100s. Great adventure bikes. You can have them in any color as long as it's blue.
Thanks, Honda, for limiting us to the blue ones. I actually like the gray ones. Now, the interesting thing about this is the side cases, the panniers, are optional, and you also have to buy the panels that color the side cases, and they come in blue or gray. The gray for a bike that we don't get. Thanks, Honda. Thanks a lot. So obviously you'll be selling more blue here in the United States than you will any gray side panniers. So John, what would it take for you to let me ride one of these?
All I need is a quick copy of your driver's license and a couple signatures, and we'll get you rolling, Marshall.
That's craziness. They're just gonna let me take it out, and you're gonna follow me with like 3 other people, make sure I don't
Maybe
steal
four.
it.
Maybe four. This is a special bike.
Yeah, special. They only have 2. All right, well, let's talk about it a little bit. Well, I might as well get the sound of it right now. It's so new, it's still burning out the engine oils, the machine oils. This is the one I said on the other day. It had 0 miles on it. I don't know if it's still at that point or not.
It is still at 0 miles.
It is still 0 miles. So, folks, so I'm gonna break this bike in for you just a little bit, barely even, like 5 miles maybe. So come in and ask for the bike that Marshall rode so you can buy it before Marshall buys it, okay? So it is Friday, so you've got Saturday. The Yamaha just went off. So, uh-oh, John, I just realized it's Friday the 13th.
Oh man.
I can't ride this on Friday the 13th. I shouldn't be riding anything. I should be under my bed, under the sheets, wearing a mask. Ah! Right. Let's do this. Alright, so we've got heated grips and cruise control on this bike, although the heated grips are going to be up here on this function button. And I'm going to guess I probably have to program that function button to be the heated grips. Which means when you don't need heated grips in the summertime, you can program it to do something else. I don't know, like what? Maybe turn off the ABS a little bit? I don't know. So let's see how long this screen takes to wake up here. Now I got the one I need right here. That's the important one. This one's still kind of glowing. Just thinking about it. Look at that paragraph I have to read. The rider is responsible for... Hey, I didn't even have to hit OK. Went right to it. That's odd. It had an OK button that I did not have to hit. So, pull in the clutch. Oh, wait. There isn't one. Start the bike. It's automatically in neutral when you shut it off. Make sure the brake is off. This is a handbrake. Okay, next we have to put it in drive or neutral. It's in neutral, so we're going to go to drive. You have a choice between automatic and manual as well, and that uses the paddle shifters. So we're just going to go to drive. And oh no, I'm in gear and I don't have the clutch pulled in. What am I going to do? Ah, Friday the 13th. I knew it'd end this way. Yeah, it didn't stall. Isn't that amazing? It did not stall. That's because it's a DCT. They're very difficult to stall. Now I can tell you one thing right now. We're in drive mode, and I've been riding DCTs since 2015. Pretty sure it was 2015 with the NC700. And I don't want drive mode. Drive mode is a great way to get past Euro emissions 7 if they have one, because it will put you in 6th gear by the time you're doing 35 miles an hour, and who wants to do that? So sport mode it is. And there are several sport modes. Now it looks like this is preset to sport mode 2, which is usually right where I want it. Adjust mirrors. Adjust mirrors. As you can see, 0 total miles. So this is another bike that Marshall's breaking in for you. And I got to be careful because oftentimes I come back to buy the bike that had 0 miles on it, and one of you people have bought it already. And that's okay, because they have 2. Alright, so front brake. Look at that bounce. That's got that traditional Honda covers every bump in the road bounce. Also tends to dive you a little bit when you grab front brake, and that's why I do this test. Rear brake. Ah, very tight, very new. Okay. I do have to be careful with the brakes, because if it has 0 miles on it, that means the brakes are probably still a little bit oily and needs to be burned off. And then we have the issue with the windshield. Let's see if I can do that with one hand. Pull it out, pull it up. Oh yeah, that's not so bad. Look at that. Pull it out, pull it up. There it is. Is it tall enough? No. Windshield should come up to your nose, just below your eye level, which would put it right about here. That's not where it is. Okay, let's go ride bike number 189 and see how much I like it. I think I still need a little more mirror. Alright, rock and roll. A little bit of throttle, gently. Oh, very nice. They say there's trouble riding cones with DCTs because they like to launch, but in this case it really isn't. So far, I gotta say it feels small. Yep, like I said, oiled front brakes, 0 miles on it. I go to stop and sure enough, it took a little longer than I thought. Oh, the engine braking is strong. Fortunately, you can set that. Okay then, the bike is so smooth, I'm going a little faster than I thought I was. I was watching the road, not the speedometer. Sorry, Ossifer. Bumps. Oh, nice. Very nice. Let's scrub in that front brake. I just tried to downshift. I'm like, where's that shifter at? Let's go this way. Okay. Along with everybody else trying to go that way. Might get wet today. So we've got about 100 horsepower, and that would be pretty much any of the variations of 1100. The torque on it's pretty decent. I don't remember the number. I want to say 84 foot-pounds of torque. I'm picking up a lot of wind in my helmet because, like I said, the windshield does not work. I don't know why they bother. I'm 5'10". I'm really not that unusual among people here in the United States. You could have made the windshield go a little taller. In fact, can we adjust it while I'm riding? Yes, yes you can. Now I have more wind, but at least it's a little more controlled and not really buffeting. The seat is nice and cozy. I'd say it's just supportive enough. I still gotta adjust this mirror though. It will get on it if you really goose it. It takes some doing though. One problem that I'm having is all this cluster right here. Where's my turn lane, my turn signal? It's underneath all that cluster. I would think a single joystick, like what they have in the center, would be enough versus all these buttons. I think they're trying to, I don't know, emulate BMW or somebody. BMW's got a wonder wheel. Ha ha ha! Yes. Problem is, I should be in a higher gear. So let's see if I can find the upshifter. There it is. So you've got a minus and a plus over here. And so if it's not in the gear that you want, you can shift it. So engine braking is set to 2/3. I think I would set that to 1/3. And you can do that. That's the glory of the whole menu system. Yes, there's a ton of menu to it. Now I'm assuming that the 1/3 means that there's less engine braking, but I've already heard from others that the menu of this is not that intuitive, and that sometimes the 3 is actually where you want it, not the 1. It's a hermit crab. He's got his house with him. All right, both feet are on the ground. See that? Feet 1, feet 2. Both feet are on the ground. I am barely 5'10". The handlebars are up high enough. Maybe I'd want them 2 inches up, but you don't always want to be standing straight up and down. You want a little bit of a lean. You want to take the weight off your spine. So they've got this just about right, just about dialed in here. Oh, she's starting to open up now. I mean, keep in mind, 0 miles, the engine's not broken in. The computer's going to protect the bike a little bit, most likely. Yeah, that engine braking is set too aggressively. I want to do a lot more gliding for my fuel economy. You can't pull in a clutch, you can't feather a clutch, so to do a really tight turn, you're going to use your brake. So you feather the brake. Ergonomically, it's great. Awesome. Ergonomically, they got it going on. I always wonder why the Africa Twin had two of these. Well, you got Apple CarPlay and you got Android Auto that you can plug your phone into and get either one. So you can use this screen for the GPS and follow this screen for your speed. Of course, my GPS shows my speed if it's set to go somewhere. But you've got everything right here. So I put 8 miles on this bike. That's how you know it was the one Marshall Road. It's got 8 miles on it. If you get here today, tomorrow, something. I do like it. You've got all this cluster though. It's going to take me a good 10 minutes of fiddling with it to get to know it some. And I'm not going to do that right now. Cruise control's on the right hand side this time. Cruise on, off, set, reserve. Yeah. Suspension is adjustable one way. It's up here, high and low. Looks like a very wide bladed screwdriver would do it, but they make a tool for it. If I had to rate the bike, and maybe I should have started doing that a long time ago, 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8.5 probably. Like I said, it should come with panniers. That'd be nice. And that windshield. Who designed it? Really? Taller people. Give me a better windshield. You've got all this space right here. You can make it even a little bit wider. Getting on and off. I don't have to horse mount it. I can just swing a leg over. That's great. A beautiful machine here. Of course, Honda's been making them for lots of years. Out of the goodness of their heart, they bring it to the US. So if you're like me, and you're not, because you'd never be caught dead wearing a white jacket, but if you're like me, you might consider the 1100 DCT engine is in a few bikes. It's in the Honda Rebel 1100. It's in the Africa Twin 1100. It's in the NC750. And it's in this bad boy. And the question is, I really like that engine, I really do. I really like the 1100. Unlike the Harley Pan America that self-destructed 2 weeks after I rode it, you can count on a Honda engine, you can really count on the 1100. It's tried, trusted, and true. So which one would I really want to buy? I mean, the Honda Rebel 1100 Touring, that's a really nice bike. And it comes with panniers, and the MSRP is $11,499. We'll just say $11,500. This bike does not come with panniers, but it is taller, has more travel in the suspension. You can get the panniers. Count on spending about $1,200 or $1,300 extra. Yeah, there's some differences here, so we're going to go over those differences. For one thing, on this particular bike, you're at an MSRP of $11,899, we'll say $11,900, compared to the Rebel Tourer, which is $11,500. So $400 more. What are you getting extra on this bike? Well, for one thing, we're getting 5 ride modes instead of the Rebel's 4. But we're kind of comparing apples and oranges here. This is kind of a modern tourer, or would be if it came with the panniers. The Rebel is kind of a retro tourer. This is kind of an adventure bike. I wouldn't take these tires on any thick gravel, but hard pan roads are fine. Change the tires out, and it's similar to the Africa Twin, although a lot lower. So speaking of the Africa Twin, well, my choice of the Africa Twin would be the Adventure Sports, and that has an MSRP of $18,400. it's worth it. It'll go anywhere, and you've got a much bigger tank. In fact, the fuel tank on the Adventure is 6.6 gallons. The fuel tank on this one is 5.4 gallons. That's still substantial, still get me 200 miles. Or you can get the Rebel Tour with its measly little tank of 3.6 gallons. Now to see if we get the same thing out of the Twin. Now we did change, we went to user mode 2 for maximum power. I don't know about that engine braking. That probably means the least amount of engine braking. And traction control 3/4 ABS is off for off-road. I believe I am not the master of all things Honda. I've just owned quite a few. Oh, that's going to be an issue. Let's tighten that up. Come on, Tex. How many miles we got on? Oh, look at that. 0 total miles. Here we go again. Marshall braking in an Africa Twin. And this time, this is bike number 190. We're just racking it up, and I'm not even trying to rack it up. I'm actually very interested in this bike. Oh my, yes. Just like the NT1100, both feet are on the ground. Even though I've got a taller tire in the front, more road suspension. Which means that this seat is in its lowest position, and that's fine with me. The windshield, unlike the NT, takes 2 hands to go up and down. And it's really a tiny windshield. We'll see how effective that is. So once again, DCT, start the bike. Put it into gear. Drive mode? No, 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 no. Sport 2 mode, thank you. But the power band and everything is in user 2 mode. There's 2 different modes you're going on here. You got drive mode and sport mode, and then you have a choice between gravel and rain and all these other things. So all in all, pretty cool. I do have one thing I want to avoid though, and I don't want to whip out of here while there is a police officer right across the way over there. See him? How cool is this? Yeah, we'll give him some time to leave. It's funny, there's a police officer at that hotel every time I'm here. And that is a sanctuary hotel. Balance, a little bit top heavy, not too bad. Sport mode again. Need to adjust that mirror. We are not upshifting where I would want to upshift. Brand new brakes, Marshall, brand new brakes. We'll just give this guy some space in case that's a stick he's driving. And we'll go this way. Self-canceling signals. This has the electronic suspension. I find it a little bit bouncier than the suspension on the NT1100. In the US, we don't get the electronic suspension on the NT1100. I'm actually a little bit surprised at the price difference. I mean, the NT1100 is basically $12K, give or take $1,000 out the door. And this is the Africa Twin Adventure Sports with the same engine, same software. It does have the electronic suspension though. I don't know how many hundreds of dollars that adds. I would suspect maybe 2. I would expect this bike to have an MSRP a lot closer to 14 than 19. So with the difference of the wheelbase is 62 inches, 2 more inches than the NT1100, and you're on a 19 in the front instead of a 17. It's going to handle a little bit differently. Plus the rear tire, I believe, on this is a 150, and I think it's a 180 on the NT1100. So you're going to feel a little more well planted on the 1100 due to its wider tire. And you're kidding me, right? You are so kidding me. I'm going to be behind this guy? Maybe not. He's waiting for me. Okay. Thank you. Didn't really matter. I'm behind a horse trailer anyway. So in user mode 2, we're at full power here. So when I lay into it, I'm really feeling all the power of it. The question is there a lag between the time I do my throttle hand and the time the computer tells the engine to ramp it up? I would say it's somewhere less than a second. We'll find out as I turn right up here. Oh yeah, we got this. Open wide. That's what I'm talking about. There's the torque of the 1100. There's the horsepower of the 1100. Getting up to speed seamlessly. You can tell it's changing gears, but only marginally. It just seems like one continuous flow up to 70 miles an hour. So far I've only used the paddle shifter once, and that's because we're at 0 miles and the engine doesn't know me yet. There is a long told story since my first DCT that the computer actually learns with you. If you start paddle shifting, you'll be training the engine where you like to shift, and it can follow suit. I don't know how true that is, but that was what I had actually experienced with my DCTs, including my last one on the NC700. You remove the battery, the computer forgets all that. And we did exactly that. We removed the battery on the NC700 I had, and suddenly I was in 6th gear coming up to stoplights and not downshifting. And I thought I had a transmission problem. But then I started downshifting manually, and within about 15 miles of stop and goes, it picked up on that. So if you remove the battery on a DCT, just be aware you might have to retrain the bike with the manual paddle shifters. But that's not coming from Honda, that's coming from my personal experience with DCTs. This is a very nice bike. Let me tell you what would make the deal. What would make the deal is if either one of the bikes that I'm just riding came with panniers already, because I really don't want to pay $1,300 to add panniers. Honestly, considering that I can flat foot either bike, I think I'd go with the Africa Twin. Doesn't look as cool as the NT, but the idea that I can still take it off-road within limits should sell this machine, especially with the taller tire in the front and the spoked rims. That would sell it for me right there. But first, I have to say hi to Sarah. It's me!
How are you?
If you don't know Sarah, you should know Sarah, because she was in my other video where I was riding the cruisers on the golf courses.
Hi.
So, yeah, so Sarah, I was riding that one and the new Honda NT1100 and comparing them because they have the same engine. And which one do I want? I think I would go with the adventure bike because it's got the off-road wheel setup already.
I've heard amazing things about the Africa Twin, so go with that one for sure.
So which one did I buy? Well, that sold tag should tell you something. Actually, it doesn't tell you anything. I did not buy a Honda Rebel 1100, even though it's a great bike. Didn't buy anything yet. But would I buy the NT1100? Yeah. On the other hand, I kind of have a little bit of a love for off-road. A like. We'll just call it an infatuation with off-road. And so if I had to buy one today, well, my choice would be this. Yeah, with the wheels that are already set up for off-road, and already a pretty good cut in that rubber too for off-road. Enough for me anyway. With a suspension that can easily handle some whoopses in the road, and with everything else very similar to the NT1100, just ever so much more so. Sorry to say, I think I would actually go with the Africa Twin Adventure Sports. The extra gallon of fuel alone would be nice to have, to know that you could do closer to 300 miles. Yeah, well, I'm at Interstate Honda, like I usually am, and you know where you can find two NT1100s, if that's what you're after. And thanks for watching. No, John, don't bring it in. We're going to write it up.